Failure in video games has always been a key element. I'm often reminded of what Reggie says.
The game is a battle. If it's not a battle, where's the fun? It's a test that you pass or a quest that you fail.
Though I think there's something that a lot of games could start doing to really strengthen character growth while incorporating failure into the gameplay itself. And that's by employing failing forward. In many games, when you fall, fail, or die, you're sent back. It's the condition for failing a challenge, and it's been that way since games began. But instead of resetting on a failure, why not do something that plays into the story? In some games, if you fail too much, it will actually skip you ahead of a challenge, so you don't have to struggle too much with it. Rarely, such as in a Skyrim mod I recently played, a game will do something a little different. When you fail, instead of a loss or a reset, it incorporates that failure into the story. In the mod, for example, you wake up on the side of the road, maybe with a lost item or some money missing, and a clue as to who did it. That way, you can track them down and seek vengeance. We've seen this done in a very minor way in Elden Ring. With the first enemy, you progress whether you win or lose. Kenshi is a game that does this really well. Let's say you lose an arm in a battle. You can now go on a quest to get a replacement arm, an artificial one that might be better than your first. Or when you're forced to retreat, you can gain skills or stats because you learned how to evade or get away from strong foes. Or what if the character is captured instead of killed? Maybe they can now break out of a work camp or prison, meeting or befriending new characters that help them escape. Or how about learning some new valuable information from the criminal elements in the prison? Or how about just being able to bribe them to leave if they defeat you? In Project Zomboid, if your character dies, they become a zombie themselves. You can create another character and go and kill your old zombified self. Even strategy games like Europa Universalis or Crusader Kings, losing isn't the end. It might be something you have to accept if you're busy with other wars. And in Mountain Blade, defeat is a part of the game, one you'll have to get used to if you want to play. Being defeated like this in the story can help create rivalries, hatreds, and goals of revenge, which can really play into the role-playing of the game, giving you new reasons for taking certain actions. This does something important. It makes it so the character grows with the player. In Skyrim, if the Dragonborn is defeated, the encounter is reset, and the player can try again until they succeed. But from a character point of view, the failures never happened. The Dragonborn has basically defeated every opponent without tasting defeat. Or sometimes a game can do something even worse, by letting the player win and making the character lose. This makes it so the player can grow throughout the game, but the character they control does not. In this circumstance, why not just let the player lose, so they can also feel defeat with the character? It would increase their frustration at the enemy they face, and create an emotional response that will guide their gameplay for the rest of the game. Some games avoid this by having the character respawn in an in-world way, but allowing a character to grow alongside the player might make roleplay games more immersive, and even lend to new quests or opportunities for the player, as well as an opportunity for growth from the character as well. I do know this isn't the right solution for every situation. Every failure shouldn't be dealt with in this way. Falling in lava, for example, might be hard to come back from, as well as sometimes it wouldn't make sense in the story for the character to survive. And that's not mentioning the development challenges of adding something like this. But in many cases, why not employ failing forward? Horror games, RPGs, even some action games, they could benefit from it. For the story, for character development, and of course for the player. I wish more games would tackle failing in this way, instead of a standard reset. You can make it work into the story, and make some fun opportunities for the player, because failure doesn't always mean the end.